And we say good morning to you. We are broadcasting live on the road today at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on this Wednesday, the 25th day of the month. And if you look at the calendar, the final Wednesday of January. Next week is Feb 1. Hard to believe, but it is. It's clipping right along, folks. We'll look up. It'll be, Easter, Mother's Day coming up. It'll be here before you know it. Weather pretty good outside, a little windy. Some of the school systems are closed because of wind, which I found interesting. But anyway, is what it is. Thank you for being with us. Coming up today on the show, going to be joined by Scotty Whaley, head basketball coach of the Science Hill Lady Hilltoppers. He'll join us. Greg Sire talking Major League Baseball. Lots going on in the bigs, including the Hall of Fame announcement of who's in. And don't understand that either, but that's a lot of things I don't understand in this world. But you would think there's more than one guy that would rate getting into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. So I think the voting is flawed. I don't know anything about it. I'm going to let Greg talk to us about it at the top of the hour when he gets here, but I just don't get it. So I don't know how you can have all these baseball players. I know the qualification, the requirements to get into the Hall of Fame is pretty tough, but still, you have one guy in after all these years. I mean, all these guys eligible. So anyway, we'll talk about that. Also, Ned Smith joins us, head basketball coach of the 4th-ranked Hampton Bulldogs, and also going to be joined by Jeff Birchfield, sports writer, the Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. All that and a whole lot more as we're on show number 1,783 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. They said it wouldn't work, and we're cranking it out, getting ready to move on right into the, of course, as you know, the coveted 2000 show, which will be, it's a ways off, but it'll be here before you know it. All right, here we go, national anthem time and verse of the day time. Here is Loretta Bowers with the national anthem on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and the bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great job, as always, by Loretta Bowers, again, singing the national anthem. Here's the verse today. We always dedicate our show to the man that hung on the cross today, certainly no different. The Lord is, Psalms 28:7, by the way. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and I am helped. Whew. It's good stuff. You know what? I got the bell. Brought the bell back with me. The bell's back in the bag. It's not going to be in the bag. It's going to be right here. It's about right here. Can we hit it? There we go. Can you hear it? I don't know if you can hear it. Here we go. There you go. The Lord, Psalms 28:7, the Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and I am helped. That's the verse of the day here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. All right, so we have a pay raise of sorts. I have no problem with that. Josh Heupel getting a big-time pay raise. Huge pay raise, I would think. And most of us living day to day, trying to make ends meet. The guy walks in, gets a, $4 million raise. Josh Heupel, after leading the Vols to the best season in 20 years, making $9 million a year through the 2028 season. Contract extension signed on the 19th. An increase from $5 million that he got last year. So the guy just made a $4 million pay raise. Athletic Director Danny White says Heupel's results speak for themselves. 18-8 record at Tennessee, 11-2 last season with a win over Clemson Capital at the Orange Bowl. So, again, he is in. And, he feels like, and Danny White feels like he's earned it. So there you go. He has got himself a pay raise. So he is now tied for 5th highest paid coach in the country, college football. Now, as I read these down, listen to how many are in the Southeastern Conference. There you go. Nick Saban, highest paid coach in football, $11.7 million. Kirby Smart, $11.25 million. Brian Kelly, LSU, $9.5 million. Jimbo Fisher, Texas A&M, $9.5 million. Josh Heupel, Tennessee, $9 million. Mark Stoops, Kentucky, $9 million. Mark Stoops, $9 million. Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss, $9 million. Billy Napier, Florida, $7.4. Hugh Freeze, Auburn, $6.5. These are the SEC coaches, not the coaches across the country. Shane Beamer, South Carolina, $6.6. Eli Drinkwitz, Missouri, $6 million. Sam Pittman of Arkansas makes $6 million, and Zach Arnett of Mississippi State making $3 million. You feel sorry for old Zach? God bless him. He's making $3 million a year. Anyway, Josh Heupel, $9 million. Pretty good pay raise for the Tennessee coach. Did he earn it? I would think so. $4 million raise. I don't know about that. It's a big chunk of change, but there again, to keep these coaches around and not let them be looking and be courted by other schools, you got to pay the freight to get them in there so they'll stay. So, hello, Connie Helms. How you doing, lady? So anyway, Josh Heupel, $4 million raise, now making $9 million a year. Divided by, 12 Saturdays, basically. Of course, it's a year-round job. I'm using that facetiously, but really and truly it's what it is. It's 12 Saturdays a year. So, speaking of Tennessee, the Vols will play tonight. Tennessee, fourth-ranked team in the country, taking on the Georgia Bulldogs. Coming up at 7 o'clock tonight from Thompson Bowling Arena. Tennessee 16-3 and 6-1 in the Southeastern Conference, hosting Georgia, who's 13-6 overall and 3-3 in the SEC. In 7 o'clock tip-off tonight on the SEC Network. Coming up, we'll be joined by Scotty Whaley at the bottom of the hour, head basketball coach of the Lady Hilltoppers. We do have for you the polls are out this week in high school basketball. We have a busy night last night in high school hoops. We've got a concert of sorts. Oh, by the way, if you are, hello, Greg Golds. How you doing, sir? Great guy, legendary coach. We'll be talking to his boss coming up here at the bottom of the hour, Scotty Whaley, or at least the guy he coaches with. So if you're a fan of Willie Nelson, this is not really sports, but I just thought this was pretty cool. Willie's going to have his 90th birthday. It's a 2-day concert at the Hollywood Bowl in April, on April the 29th and 30th. To help Willie Nelson with his birthday, Neil Young, Chris Stapleton, Lyle Lovett, Miranda Lambert, Roseanne Cash, the Chicks, Casey Musgraves, and a whole lot more. Willie, as a matter of fact, coming out with a brand new album in March. I love the title. I don't know a thing about love. It's pretty cool. Willie Nelson, 6 decades. And so, also nominated for 4 Grammys this year. So, tickets for the concerts go on sale to the general public on the 28th, a pre-sale starting today. I would think they'd be through the roof, I would think. The Hollywood Bowl, 2-day concert to celebrate Willie Nelson's 90th birthday. Also, if you missed it, Super Bowl pregame entertainer Chris Stapleton's going to be there. They got it right. So, Chris Stapleton, do I have that? I got that here somewhere. Chris Stapleton's going to be performing at halftime of the Super Bowl. Let's see if I can find it here real quick. There's somebody else. I think Rihanna. Here it is. Country music superstar Chris Stapleton will sing the national anthem. Babyface will perform America the Beautiful at the Super Bowl next month on February the 12th in Arizona. Halftime show featuring Rihanna. But Chris Stapleton will do the national anthem. He'll absolutely bring down the house. You wait and see. U.S. Navy will conduct a flyover to commemorate 50 years of women flying in the service, which is cool. So, Troy Kotzer, Oscar winner, will perform the national anthem in American Sign Language. That's cool. So, anyway, that's what's going on with the Super Bowl if you're interested. Chris Stapleton doing the national anthem. Babyface will perform America the Beautiful. And Rihanna will do the halftime. So, there you go. If you're interested in that kind of chit-chat, it's something you can wow people with. Guess who's going to sing the national anthem of the Super Bowl? I know, because I heard on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Chris Stapleton. Yeah, long-haired, long-bearded dude. He can sing. She turned me on to him. I didn't know much about the old boy. He can sing. All right, taking a break. Come back. We'll take a look at Aaron Rodgers says he's moving on. Where, we don't know. College basketball from last night. One upset. We'll let you know who's playing where today. Also the National Hockey League, and also a big night last night in high school basketball. All that coming up straight ahead on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We are live here again at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. Tomorrow, Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton, and then Friday we'll be at Food City in Elizabethton on a Food City Friday. So there you go. We've got lots going on. All right, coming up next, we'll take a look at high school basketball. Busy night last night around the area, and we'll see how teams did and didn't do, I guess, the case may be. Right after this break from the good folks from Chick-fil-A, you're watching the Tom Taylor Sports Show live at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City.
As soon as Mr. Steve walks in, it's like a ray of sunshine has entered our restaurant.
Sure is nice to hear.
For his 100th birthday, we wanted to do it as big as possible.
That was someday, I'll tell you.
Customers came in, brought gifts and cards.
When I walked in and they all clapped, that was quite a surprise to me.
It's a really warm feeling in your heart to know that your father's got other people looking out for him.
We decided to give him free Chick-fil-A for life.
One of my main reasons I want to live forever.
I think you got it in you.
At Carter County Bank, it's our job to help you focus on the happy moments and check off the things on your to-do list to make them happen. We're here along the way so you can pull off the happiest moments in life. Carter County Bank, in the business of happiness.
We're proud to help our region move forward and help reopen every business we can.
Hi, this is Big Country, and you're watching my buddy Tom Taylor and the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
And back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show, let's take a look at high school basketball polls. We'll be joined by Scotty Whaley coming up in a few minutes. Head coach of the Lady Hilltoppers will join us. All right, boys polls are out. Here we go. Top 10 for the lads across the great state of Tennessee. And you start off with Independence number 1, then comes Bartlett and Hillsboro. William Blount, the Governors, dropped from 1 down to number 4. Germantown, Hardin Valley, Oak Ridge, Cleveland, Bradley Central, and Gallatin. No local teams in 4A. 3A, our local team beat Tennessee High, the Vikings, in number 10 in the state in boys basketball. Crockett County number 1, Haywood County number 2. Then comes Livingston Academy, Stone Memorial, Lawrence County, Fulton, Melrose, Fayette Ware, and Dyer County. 2A basketball, you got Chucky Doak in at number 3 in the state for the Black Knights. East Nashville number 1, Fairview number 2, Chucky Doak number 3. Then comes Douglas, Kingston, Cascade, Milan, Gatlinburg, Pittman, Tyler Academy, and Gibson County. In 1A, we'll talk to Ned Smith later in the program. Hampton Bulldogs up 1 to number 4 in the state. They had a big win last night. Hampton beat Johnson County in a barn burner 70-67 up Mountain City. Middleton, Clay County, Richland, Hampton, McKenzie, East Robertson, Gordonsville, Eagleville, Pickett County, and Chattanooga Prep. Girls basketball, top 10 of the state in 4A. The Bearden Lady Bulldogs at number 1. Then comes Bradley Central, Coffee County, Blackman, Cookeville, Heritage, Stewart's Creek, Arlington, Rockville, and Bartlett. In 3A, good representation. The Elizabethton Lady Cyclones stay at number 4 in the state, behind Jackson Southside. Livingston Academy jumps from number 6 up to number 2. Upperman, the defending state champion, number 3. Cyclones, number 4. Then comes Creekwood, Greenville, the Lady Green Devils, number 6 in the state. Then Cumberland County, Dyer County, White County, and South Gibson in that order. 2A basketball, the top 5, Westview, York Institute, Alcoa, Gibson County, and Gatlinburg Pittman. Then in single A, the Hampton Lady Bulldogs, highest ranked team this week. They're at number 2 in the state, number 2, highest ranked team locally. Wayne County, Hampton, Clay County, McKenzie, and Dresden. So congratulations to Coach Carpenter and the Lady Bulldogs. So Hampton's got both ranked this week, as they did last week. Girls number 2 in the state, boys number 4 in the state. Let's break it down, see what happened last night in high school basketball. And you start with, we'll start up in Blunnville. Westridge and Dobbins Bennett. Dante Oliver, 31 points for DB. They're starting to get it together, the defending state champs. Everybody was fretting back in November. Oh, they're losing these games. I said, it has nothing to do with what happens in November. It's all about what happens in January, February, and March. It's not where you start, just like life. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. Jonathan Gillespie, 17. Brady Stump, 14 for DB. Again, they go to 14-8 and 5-0 in the Big Five. The Wolves of Westridge fall to 2-3 in the league and 14-9 overall. Wade Witcher led Westridge with 17. Trey Frazier and Dawson Arnold each had 11 in that game last night. So then you shoot over here to some more results. Unicoi County over Volunteer 50-38 in boys basketball last night. Grant Hensley 15 points, Eli Johnson 12. Jolton Harrison 14 to lead Volunteer in the losing cause. Our game, East defeats the Cyclones 63-58. That's not right. Yeah, it is. 63-58. Yep. All right, yep. Drake Fisher, 24 points. Tyler Cross, 19. Jacob Witcher, 12 for East. Witcher, the difference in the game. He was a spark plug for him. Dalton Mitchell, 20. Will Churchill, our player of the game, and Mason Ball each had 12. Hampton, as we said, beat Johnson County by 3. Caden Buckles, 23. Hayden Campbell, a double-double, 22 points and 10 boards. We'll talk to Coach Smith later in the game, or later in the show, rather, about that game. Dalton Robinson, Johnson County's top scorer, 19. Connor Simcox had 13. That's on the boys' side. Let's run down all the boys' scores. DB, as we said, over Westridge by 26. Science Hill gets a big win over Daniel Boone, 67-63. Big win for Coach Higgins on the road in Gray, or in Boones Creek at Boones Creek Elementary, where they're playing the games. Jamar Livingston, 34 points and a losing cause for Boone. So Science Hill, again, getting a league win. They're now 1-4 and 4-18 overall. So Lawson, Brady Lawson led them with 22 points. Peterson for Science Hill finished with 16. On the ladies' side, Science Hill coming to life, 47-44 for Daniel Boone. Lady Hilltoppers can go and get the top spot when they visit front-running Crockett on Friday night. So Miss Patton led everybody, Catherine Patton we're speaking of, led everybody with 15 points. Anaya Pace and Lexi Green had 10 each. Andrea Flores led the Lady Trailblazers with 12. So let's run them down for you, the scores from yesterday. As we said, DB by 26 over Westridge. Science Hill beat Boone by 4. Unicoi County, we told you, 50-38 over Volunteer. Sullivan East beat the Cyclones by 5. Chucky Doak over Happy Valley, 76-28. West Green beat South Green by 9. And Hampton, as we said, over Johnson County by 3 in Mountain City. That's the boys' scores. Now for the ladies, it goes like this. Man, I watched the game yesterday. We should have won. Whoo, doggies. Tia Duggar. I think if you go back and look at that game against Liberty Bell, there's 2 words: missed opportunities. Goodness gracious. We were a better team and just didn't do it. Just didn't get it done. Happens. Westridge and girls beat DB by 11. Science Hill over Daniel Boone by 3. Unicoi County's ladies by 19 over Volunteer. Lady Cyclones 76-40 blew out Sullivan East for the second time this season. Jenna Hare in a losing cause, 22 for East. Cyclones Lightning, Lena Lyon 14. Our player of the game, Rena Lane, had 15, and a great defensive job on Hare. Marley Mathena 14. She's coming on, and Riley Whitson with 13, and she's coming on for the Lady Cyclones. So that was pretty cool. Michelle Shields came off the bench and got 4 points. Actually, I had her with 6. No, I didn't. I had her with 4 last night for the freshmen, and the Lady Cyclones win big. Chucky Dokes ladies by 1 over Happy Valley. South Green's Lady Rebels 13-point win over West Green. And the Hampton Lady Bulldogs a 43-point blowout over Johnson County's Lady Longhorns. So that's what you're going. That is what you have going in high school basketball from last night across the region in the great state of Tennessee. We are live here at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. wrestling last night. Dobbins Minute dominating Science Hill. Wow, 70-9. That's like a 40-point win in basketball. That's a blowout. Dobbins Minute 11 pins. Indians now will host Anderson County in the sectional on Thursday. Science Hill travels to face Maryville. This is the Regional Duels Wrestling Championship. That was in Dobbins Minute, and it was all DB. Wow, 70-9. Whew, that is, as I said in wrestling terms, that is a butt whooping. Goodness gracious. So that was last night. That's what happened there. Tom Taylor Sports Show. We are live at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton on this Wednesday. It's warm out there, and it's warm in here. That's okay. But going to warm up, and it's going to turn cold tomorrow, and everybody's flipping out over the snow or what's supposed to come or flurries, and I'm thinking, people, please look outside right now. What do we have? 60 degrees? It's a little warm I guess it could, if God wants to do and do whatever he wants it to do, but thinking, it's a little warm to make that turn that quick. Now, up in the mountains may be different, but it is currently 55 degrees here. Looking for a high today, 63. Tomorrow and Friday's highs are 39, still above the freezing mark to snow. I'm just saying. So anyway, there's a wind advisory for all of us until 7 o'clock tonight. Wind's quiet outside here right now. Quick break. We'll come right back after we check in we have some cooler weather coming. We're checking Big John's Closeouts. See what we're supposed to do when it comes to the old winter weather. How about it? The winter weather. Here's Mike Barnett from Big John's Closeouts. And coming up, we'll check in with Scotty Whaley, head basketball coach of the Science Hill Lady Hilltoppers. Later on, Greg Salyer talking Major League Baseball. Then later on, Ned Smith, head basketball coach of the 4th-ranked Hampton Boys basketball team. And also in person, live, talking NASCAR. They're getting ready to get cranked up for the new season. Jeff Birchfield, he'll join us coming up here in a few minutes. We is live, we are. We're here at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on show number 1783 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Where we live, winterized with Big John's Closeouts.
Well, as we talk about the winter months, there's always going to be those spells where, we have a little bit of a warming trend, then we turn right back around and we get cold again. So a lot of things you can do to sort of prepare for an extended period of time when you're going to have temperatures that are below freezing and things of that nature. And there's some very basic things that you can do, such as faucet covers, protecting that outside faucet, that's continually exposed to the weather, pipes that run along the outside of your wall. You can wrap them with either fiberglass wrap-on pipe insulation, or we've got the foam pipe insulation that comes in 6-foot pieces in a number of different sizes. You can get half, 3/4 inch, and we can even order larger sizes for commercial type situations, but most people are looking at either the half or 3/4 or 1 inch foam pipe insulation. You talk about weather stripping and stuff around doors, drafts and things of that nature that put cold air into your heated area and just makes it a little more uncomfortable. So you can get weather stripping for your doors, windows. You can get window kits to go on the outside that you can sort of add another layer there to sort of help cut down some of the drafts and stuff of that nature. There's just a lot of different things you can do. We also talk about, looking at being prepared in case you do have a situation where you've lost power. And with snowfall and wet snow, which they're not sure what we're going to get yet, and we're not sure what we're going to get throughout the winter seasons. You can also have propane heaters, backup wall type heaters, fireplace gas log sets, even some of these for emergency in basements and other stuff, the top heaters that go on a little portable propane tank, either single burner or double burner. We've got those. So there's a lot of different ways you can look at being prepared.
Absolutely. And they have it all at Big John's Closeout where they hammer high prices. Talk about, you mentioned the propane, you have gas logs, and you also have, I used to call them the milk barn heaters.
Yep. Milk house. Yeah,
heaters,
a lot of them have that. We've got some of the milk house heaters, both the small ones and a little bit larger version of it. We've got the oil-filled radiator-looking heaters, that are more of a consistent type heater, and we've got some bigger box type electric heaters and little miniature fireplace electric heaters that give you the look, you know, of a fire and stuff of that nature to sort of add a little bit of ambiance, I guess you might say, to wherever you're trying to heat up and stuff of that nature. You know, and I realize it probably isn't enough time to look at it, but we stock a full line of Owens Corning, fiberglass insulation. If you've noticed, seem like your heat bills are going up and up, and you get up in the attic or look under the crawl space or basement and notice that maybe you don't have enough insulation there to cut down the drafts and to keep the heat loss down, we've got a full line, both 15-inch wide, 23-inch wide, everything from R11 on up to R48.
Got it all available at Big John's Closeouts. They hammer high prices. Hours are open.
Well, we're here from 7:30 to 6, Monday through Friday. And on Saturday, we're here 8 to 4, except for closing a little bit for holidays, which we will be closed Christmas Eve. You know, that Saturday to give our staff and folks a little bit of a break. But we're normally there 8 to 4 on Saturday, and we're closed on Sunday, you know, so our families can get out and worship and spend time together and you know, just have a little bit of time to relax.
Social media, how do we find you?
Well, you can go to BigJohnsCloseouts.com. You can also email questions to experts with an S at BigJohns with an S, Closeouts with an S.com, or you can send things to me. I'll be glad to answer any questions you've got at Mike at MIKE at BigJohnsCloseouts.com. And then you can also check us out on Facebook. We occasionally put specials and promotions on there.
One of our great sponsors of the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports. Love having them on. They hammer high prices. Mike Barnett and the folks at Big John's Closeouts.
So I stopped in at Chick-fil-A for lunch and saw Officer Wilson come in. I decided to place a dine-in mobile order and have a cookie delivered to him just to show appreciation for his service for our community.
A few minutes later, I noticed that Officer Wilson had gotten up and left, and I knew he hadn't gotten his cookie yet.
I'm headed to my car. I turn around and I see Allie, and she's running after me.
Mr. Police Officer, Mr. Police Officer.
Usually when someone yells, officer, officer, they want to ask me about a ticket they got. I absolutely wanted the cookie. This cookie is delicious.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, let's go to the Phoenix area. Head coach Scotty Whaley, the Science Hill Lady Hilltoppers. Haven't had him on for a while. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Tom. Doing good. How are you?
Good. Congratulations. You got this thing turned around, headed in the right direction. The Lady Hilltoppers playing some really good basketball. Tell us about it.
Our players have got it turned around. Our kids have just really done a great job the last couple of weeks. Just been really focused in practice. Our effort's been a lot better, and they have just taken it upon themselves, and we have good leaders and really good leadership, and just have really played well the last 2 weeks, just playing harder, sharing the ball more, and our kids have just done a really great job the last couple of weeks.
It's the old adage, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. You started slow, everybody knew that, and so getting some momentum, and you got Miss Pace back. That's a pretty good shot in the arm, isn't it?
Yes. Anaya's fantastic. She just brings a lot of energy to our team. Our kids love her. Her effort is relentless. Just a very hard worker. You know, she works a job. She works at Texas Roadhouse and then goes to school and then plays basketball. She does a great job for us and just really works hard, and definitely getting her back's a big boost, and it just helps us being healthier. We're starting to get healthier and starting to play better at the right time.
Back in the conference race in a big time, which is where you wanted. You started at the bottom there earlier in the season, not anymore. So tell us what's the latest going on with the conference race in the Big Five.
Right now, Crockett's in first, and then I think us and Boone and Westridge are all tied for second. So, we got a big couple of weeks coming up, and every game's going to be close. And then our conference tournament will be really good. I think once DB gets healthy, they're going to be right there in the mix. And then I think any of the 5 teams in our conference can win the district tournament for sure.
The tournament will be played where this year?
It will be played at Sullivan North, a.k.a. the TAC. the Tribe Athletic Complex. And I've not been there. We go over there next Friday. Coach Francis said it's beautiful, the work they've done over there. It looks nice on film when we watch film. It's the old Southern North, and I think it's the Tribe Athletic Complex.
Yep, the old Sullivan North.
Yes, sir.
Old North High School, yep. We're talking to Coach Whaley. Got him for another minute or two, and I'll let him go. So, out of conference, in conference, give me the top team across the board you have played so far this year. You guys have played a lot of different teams in and out of the league, and so who's the best team talent-wise you faced this year, or one of them?
Elizabethton is fantastic. Knox Bearden's fantastic. Greenville. Davy Crockett's really good. Those are probably the four across the board. Daniel Boone's good. You look for a team with all the pieces. Definitely up here, Elizabethton and Greenville. I think Elizabethton has all the pieces to make a big tournament run. Down the road, Knox Bearden and Sevier County both are really, really good. But I would bet on the Lady Cyclones would be my bet for up here. They're one of the best teams we played. I think Lena Lyons one of the best point guards in the state, and they're really well coached, and they just do a great job over there. Coach Andrews does a really good job with his kids year in and year out.
Hello to Craig Jones. Craig checking in with us from Nebraska this morning. What's the weather like out in Nebraska, Craig? Because it's pretty good here. It's like 56 degrees and supposed to be high winds. We're not getting any of those right now. We're at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City, but hello out in the Cornhusker State, Nebraska. Coach, I'd say it's a little bit different weather-wise out there than it is right here. What do you think?
Oh, I guarantee it. It's I'll take the 50s in January any time of the year. I like those 70s and 80s. I don't like that cold and that snow for sure.
Amen. Preach it. So before I let you go, grade your team. You're starting to get some mojo, and that's good. So right now, where's Lady Hilltoppers in your opinion? A, B, C, or D?
We're probably right now at a A-. Hopefully we can stay healthy and get to that A game by February. We've definitely improved over the last 2 weeks, and it's just a credit to our kids. We have tremendous young ladies in our program, we'll try to get that A on the report card come tournament time, and that's the beauty of basketball. It's a tournament sport, and you always have a shot. But just love our kids, just love how we've played the last couple of weeks, and we just loved on them some after the Crockett loss, and just went to work, and they've done a magnificent job the last couple of weeks.
Coach, appreciate your time, sir. Thank you as always, and I will talk to you soon, my friend. Thanks for being on the show.
Hey, thank you. Tell Sam hello, and good luck to London tomorrow against Indian Trail. I got to pull for. We hope London plays well, but I got to pull for Indian Trail. You know that.
I understand. That's your future girls with the Hilltoppers. I totally get that.
That's right. Tell Sam hello, Tom.
Thank you, sir. I will. You're a class act, sir. Talk soon.
Yes, sir. You are too. Thank you. Appreciate everything you do for sports and girls basketball.
You got it. Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Yep. Great job again.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Appreciate him very much. Class act, Coach Scotty Whaley. So, hello to Craig Jones in Nebraska. Hello to Amy Whitson. Hello to Connie Helms. Hello to Reba Whitehead. Thank you, kids, for saying hello to us. We got them in Nebraska this morning, and we got them in the Tri-Cities. Thank you. Kathy Lau says, good, wonderful Wednesday. Very windy Wednesday on the mountain. Possibly some more snow. So that's what I'm saying. Down here it's in the 50s. There's not any snow at all. And so I see the wind kicking up a little bit outside on some of the shrubs, but we don't have any snow here for sure in Johnson City. In fact, the sun's out, so there you go, and I like it that way. All right, top 25 college basketball last night. One upset. Rick Ranson's checking in from Pensacola. Hello, city base of listeners, and we appreciate that too. We don't ever take that for granted, for sure. So thank you for everybody, wherever you may be watching the show. It continues to grow, and it's all because of him. It's not me. It's his show. It'll go as far as he wants it to go, and I always use that quote. Phil Robertson said that back in the day. As far as Duck Dynasty, no, that's not what I mean. I'm just saying it's the Lord's show. It'll roll how he wants it to roll. Psalms 28:7 says, the Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and I am helped. That's the verse today. Psalms 28:7. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and I am helped. That is the verse today. We always, without exception, we'll give him credit and give you a verse today. Thanks again to Scotty Whaley being on the show. Top 25 college basketball, one upset last night. Iowa State, number 12 in the country, knocking off 5th-ranked Kansas State by 4. Other winners last night, it was Miami, the 20th-ranked Hurricanes, with a 23-point blowout win over the Seminoles of Florida State. You had 11th-ranked TCU beating Oklahoma by 27. 24th-ranked Clemson, they with a 21-point win over Georgia Tech, some lopsided games last night. And then 10th-ranked Texas, a 14-point win over the Oklahoma State Cowboys last night in men's top 25 play. Top 25 play. Lips are sticking together. Let me get up. Greg joins us top of the hour. A lot of baseball if you're getting ever so close to spring training. I got a whole folder full of baseball stuff coming up. Everything from the Braves to the Hall of Fame to the Angels. Got lots to talk about. All right, top 25 hoops coming up tonight. One ranked involving two teams, I should say, ranked playing each other. 13th ranked Xavier at number 19, UConn. 3rd ranked Houston will be at Central Florida tonight. 4th ranked Tennessee hosting the Georgia Bulldogs. Well, I hear one is screaming. 4th ranked Tennessee hosting Georgia. It's the 23rd ranked Providence Friars hosting the Butler Bulldogs. 2nd ranked Alabama, the Crimson Tide, home to Mississippi State tonight. And 15th ranked Auburn hosting the Texas A&M Aggies. That's what's going on in men's top 25 college basketball. Again, on this Wednesday, January the 25th. Again, we are live here at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. All right, pro football news. Aaron Rodgers says probably not going to stay with the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, unsure of his NFL future. Star quarterback says he'd be open to playing elsewhere if the right opportunity arose. The Packers said we may trade him, but to an AFC team, we're not going to let him stay in the NFC where we are. Makes sense. I wouldn't either. Should Rodgers and the Packers part ways after 18 seasons together, a number of AFC teams would be making a play for the 4-time NFL MVP. I didn't realize he'd won it 4 times. That's pretty impressive. Off a team that's not done much in postseason, quite frankly. So you have the teams that are interested in the AFC are the Jets, the Titans, the Patriots, and the Raiders. So the Raiders set to trade Derek Carr and last year acquired Rodgers' top target Devontae Adams. Titans can move on from Ryan Tannehill. New England restructuring its offensive staff. They went and got the old offensive coordinator from days gone by to come back and be reacquainted with Bill Belichick. And the Jets said they need help at the quarterback to, make them a complete team. Rodgers 1 year removed from signing a 3-year, $150 million extension with the Packers. So went out of his way to say he loves Lambeau Field in Green Bay, but he also said, they were 9-8 in 2022, so, they're trying to make a move to try and move on and do a little bit better. So, and they say maybe Rodgers doesn't fill the bill for the future for the Green Bay Packers. Raiders, Titans, Jets, and Patriots. They said we will part ways with him, going to an AFC team only. Makes perfect sense to me. All right, before we go to the break, National Hockey League last night. Your winners, Nashville now 23-18. The Predators skate past Winnipeg 2-1. Your winners last night, Boston, Tampa Bay, the Kings, the Penguins, Detroit, New Jersey, Buffalo, Colorado, Anaheim, and the Vancouver Canucks. Love saying that. Tonight, the Rangers skate in Toronto. The Islanders skate in Ottawa. Dallas home to Carolina. Big match up there involving two of the top winningest teams in the sport right now. Columbus skates at Edmonton and Vancouver at Seattle. Top 5 teams in terms of wins in the National Hockey League right now. Boston leads everybody with 38 wins. Winnipeg with 31. Tampa Bay with 30. Vegas, Toronto, and Carolina all have 29, and the Dallas Stars have 28 wins. That's your 5, 3, 6, 7 winningest programs or franchises right now in the National Hockey League, led by the Boston Bruins with 38 wins on the season. Hey, don't forget, if you haven't, you want to go to this coin online auction going on right now through next Tuesday. That would be the estate of J.B. Shepard, coin auction online only. Here it is from David Collins. Going to be with us on Friday. CollinsandCompany.info is where you go. All these different coins. Let me give you the highlights of them. An 1889 $3 gold piece. 1860 seeded Liberty silver dollar. Let's see. U.S. silver dollar collector's edition from 1921, 1888, 1901, and 1881. What I found the other day in a box, I'm going through all these boxes. I'm cleaning stuff out. We are purging. Spring cleaning in January. I found a little, I never didn't even know I had it. That's the scary thing. A little book, Treasure Island, the original, written by Robert Louis Stevenson, dated 1916. Is that not crazy? I had no clues on one of my magic shoe boxes full of junk, and I'm thinking, wonder what's in this one. Started to throw the whole thing away, and I thought, I better go through it. Glad I did. I guess it's worth money. It's about this big. Robert Louis Stevenson, Treasure Island. It was my grandfather's. His name's in the front of it. He paid 10 cents for it. Is that not crazy? It was dated it was printed in 1916, so that's 107 years old? Yeah. 107 years old. Had no clue. Anyway, Morgan and Barber silver dollars in this auction. An 1860 seated Liberty silver dollar. Westward Series collection. Just go and check it out for yourself. There's all kinds of goodies on there. So collinsandcompany.com. I'm sorry, collinscompany.info is where you go to find that. So good stuff. Talking Major League Baseball at the top of the hour. We're live here again at Chick-fil-A on this Wednesday. We'll take a break. Be right back after this from Northeast Community Credit Union, one of our great sponsors here in the Tom Taylor Sports Show. A member of Northeast Community Credit Union.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know this about Northeast Community Credit Union. We have a discounts page, and there are discounts on several items, and I can list a few here. We've got H&R Block, Intuit TurboTax, we've got Spectrum Mobile, Xfinity, True Stage, Power Sports Buying Program, Rental Karma, and Assurin Home. So, if you go to our website, bmycu.org, you can go to our discounts page. I believe it's under resources. Scroll all the way to the bottom. I believe it says Love My Credit Union. And it's rewards, and it's for credit union members. And there are cashback rewards, there's discounts, and right now, coming up, tax time. So Intuit, TurboTax, and H&R Block, certainly take advantage of that, because anybody that can get a discount certainly helps out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every little bit helps.
Yeah.
Other things that you guys offer at the credit union as far as once you become a member, things you have access to?
You have access to so many products and services and real people. When you call us, you're going to get a real person on the phone. You're going to get called by your name. We've got a great award-winning NCCU mobile app. We've got ATMs all across over 55,000 in the world. And there's just so many features that we have. We have 4 great, wonderful locations in the Tri-Cities, and it's only $5 to open a savings, and there's no minimum required on your checking. So if you are a member and then you meet certain criteria as far as a direct deposit and certain things like that, you can be a loyal rewards member, a loyal home member. You can be a veterans benefits member. There's certain qualifications.org.
Yep. And the locations are?
In Roe Mountain off of 19E, and then we've got one off of 19E in Elizabethton, and then we've got the one main office behind Elizabethton High School, and then Johnson City off of West Oakland Avenue.
Yep, there they are. All 4 locations. Great sponsor of Elizabethton Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Andrew Lewis and all the great folks at Northeast Community Credit Union. Right here. Talking to one of our great sponsors again.
This is Pastor Fallow of Pleasant Beach Baptist Church in Elizabethton, and we'd love to have you come be with us. You and your family be with us on Sunday. I'm standing here in the lobby at our visitors table, our welcome table, and there's packets made up with tells you a little more about the church and get acquainted card, and then also a mug and some things in there for you to take with you to remind you to pray for us. And we've got a place for you and your family and want you to come. Our goal is for you to know the Lord Jesus Christ as your Savior, but beyond that, to find your purpose and contentment in life of knowing Him, walking with Him, and serving Him each day. And so we want you and your family to come be with us Sunday morning, Sunday night, or Wednesday night. We're looking forward to seeing you soon. You can find a little more information about us online at pleasantbeachbaptist.com.
Hi, my name is Brian, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A mac and cheese is you can taste the different types of cheeses and the blends that they use, and everything just comes together. It's like a delicate dance. They're like perfection in every bite.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're live at Chick-fil-A. Junior says, is it a gray or red cover? I think it's a gray. Paperback. I know it is. It's gray. It's not red. Maybe it's even like a chocolate brown or tan. Robert Louis Stevenson, Treasure Island. It's a really cool. I mean, it's not much bigger than this cell phone, really. Just a little bit bigger, I guess. It's about the right size. And found it in a box. 1916. Also found a original print of Gone with the Wind, Margaret Mitchell's book. You know, I had that. First printing. And then I had found one, the first printing of, not Little Women. What's the name of it? I don't know. It's the Four Sisters book, Little Women, maybe? Louisa May Alcott. Does that sound right? I don't know. So that was last night. I've slept since then. All right. College basketball polls are out this week. Have been out. Houston losing to Temple on Sunday knocked them out. They dropped them to third in the country. Purdue back up to number 1. Tennessee to number 4. So Tennessee jumping from number 9 to number 4. They'll put that on the line tonight against Georgia. 7 o'clock tip-off at Thompson Bowling Arena. By the way, coming up top of the hour, talking baseball with Greg Salyer. Later on, Coach Ned Smith, Hampton Bulldogs. And also Jeff Birchfield will be here. Live, the sports writer in John City Press, Kingsport Times News. I guess it's worth some money. I don't know. Is it Little Women? Is that the name of the movie? Or the name of the book, Little Women? Yeah, Louisa May Alcott. I think it's the name, the author. I got one that found that book in the original print. First printing of Gone with the Wind, my all-time favorite movie. Who did she love, Scarlett or Rhett? Rhett, all the way. So, Ashley. I mean, who did Scarlett love, Ashley or Rhett? Rhett all the way. She thought she liked Ashley, but she loved Rhett when it got right down to it. Rhett took care of her, loved on her, protected her, took care of her. So, anyway, I found the original first print book, Gone with the Wind. I guess it's worth money. I don't know. Didn't know I had it. All right, Purdue, Alabama, Houston, Tennessee, Kansas State. Your top 5 in college basketball. Arizona, Virginia, UCLA, Kansas, and Texas rounding out the top 10. Then you have TCU, Iowa State, Xavier, Gonzaga, and Auburn at number 15. 16th, Marquette, Baylor 17th, Charleston 18th, UConn 19th. And the top, rounding out the final 5 in the top 25, Miami, Florida Atlantic, St. Mary's, Providence, Clemson, and New Mexico. It's interesting. You look down there, all others receiving votes. When was the last time Duke or North Carolina or Kentucky, all 3 were not in the top 25? I bet that's a great trivial question. When was the last time? Found pocket edition for $160, gray color. Maybe it's not worth anything, and $160 is not something you can retire on. I found a box of coins, too, and I didn't know I had those. All these little boxes of treasure troves. I'm going through all these boxes back in the closet, and found a bunch of coins back in the 1800s. Had no clue I had them. Don't know where they came from. Just something we've acquired. Couldn't even tell you what they're worth. When was the last time Duke, Kentucky, and North Carolina, all 3 were not in the top 25? I wonder if it's ever happened. Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky all receiving votes to be in the top 25, but they're not. So that's a good trivia question. And I don't obviously have a clue what the answer would be. When was the last time Duke, North Carolina, or Kentucky, all 3 were not ranked in the top 25? It's been a while, guarantee you. So, but they're not. And so there you go. Tennessee at number 4, as we said, hosting Georgia. I almost said Georgetown, Georgia tonight. Let's run down the other top 25s for you for this Wednesday. We got a doubleheader coming up tomorrow. We've got T.A. Duggar's ladies against Indian Trail and T.A. Duggar's boys against Robinson tomorrow. The winners will move on to the sectional tournament, qualify for the sectional next week in Knoxville, and the losers will be eliminated. So it's a big game tomorrow. 4 o'clock girls, 5 o'clock guys. So we'll have those both for you live from Johnsonville Middle School tomorrow with our little camera guy. He's such a cool kid, Dylan Heading. He's 12 years old. Nicest kid in the world. His mother, he didn't do something the other night. She was getting on him a little bit. I said, whoa, you can't get on him. He's a good little kid. She just grinned. She said, yes, I know. But what a nice young guy. I'm going to get him on the camera tomorrow, let you see him. 12 years old, would do anything for you. He's one of those kids, like at the end of the game yesterday, he said, or was it yesterday? Whenever I did them, they're all running together. Monday. He said, can I roll up the extension cord for you? How many kids wouldn't even lift their finger to do that? He said not only did he want to do it, he asked if, he just looked around and said, this probably needs to be done. He said, can I help you do it? Ain't many kids doing that in 2023, I can tell you. Some do, but not many. Great kid, Dylan Heading. Very, very nice young man, 12 years old. And I said, sir, as long as I'm doing these games, you're going to be right here, boom, right here beside me. And I'll be glad to have you. All right, tonight, 13th ranked Xavier at 19 UConn. 3rd ranked Houston, the Cougars at Central Florida. 4th ranked Tennessee hosting Georgia, as we said. Also coming up tonight, 23rd ranked Providence hosting the Butler Bulldogs, having a tough season. 2nd ranked Alabama, the Crimson Tide, hosting Mississippi State. You got to know the national pollsters are just jacked up because the Southeastern Conference is also very strong in basketball now. You look at the top 10. Let's see what we got. Top 10. We have Alabama number 2, Tennessee at number 4, Auburn number 15. We'll go all the way down to the top 25. We got three right now, but 2 in the top 5. Alabama 2nd in the country, Tennessee 4th in the country in men's basketball. You got to know just grinds on those national pollsters. All they want to talk about is how great the Big Ten is in football. Yeah, right. Talk to me up in Columbus. How's that go for you? Whew, butt whooping. 15th ranked Auburn hosting Texas A&M tonight in men's top 25 basketball. So, will we win the national championship in the hoops? I don't know. But we got 2 in the top 5 right now, which is okay. All right, let's take a look at NFL. Then we'll take a break, get ready for Greg Sire talking Major League Baseball. The NFL, your game's coming up on Sunday. You've got the Final Four, the NFC Championship, the 49ers at Philadelphia, number 2 seed against number 1 seed. Kind of how you draw it up. 3 o'clock on Sunday. 49ers and the Eagles have only met once in postseason. Back in 1996, the 49ers won a 14-0 in a wild card game. Jalen Hurts, Eagles, Brock Purdy, 49ers, both starting quarterbacks in the game, weren't even born then. So Hurts at 24, Purdy at 23 will be the youngest matchup in NFC Championship game history. That's a pretty cool stat. Purdy out of Iowa State, of course. So Hurts, the youngest quarterback in Eagles history to reach the conference championship game. Eagles' 7th conference championship appearance since 2000, the most in the NFC, and trailing only the Patriots for the most in the NFL. The Eagles are searching for their 4th Super Bowl appearance in franchise history and the 2nd of the last 6 seasons. There you go. Big game, 3 o'clock. Eagles are, at this point, a 2-point favorite. It's going to be a good football game. Watch and see George Kittle, the guy who made that unbelievable catch. We watched that the other night, the Cowboys. Watch him be a big part of this football game. The tight end, seldom used. Don't understand that. You would think Jason Witten would have set the template as how you can incorporate a tight end in their offensive scheme of things and be successful doing it. But teams don't use them, but they use Kittle. There you go. On the other side, 6:30 on Sunday, 4th-ranked Bengals at number 1 Kansas City. A rematch of last year's AFC title game. Mahomes and Joe Burrow. Mahomes playing through a high ankle sprain. Andy Reid said he'll be okay. He's playing. Mahomes has never beaten the Bengals since Burrow's become the starting quarterback. How about that stat? Going 0-3 against him over the last 2 seasons. Kansas City blew a 21-10 second quarter lead and lost 27-24. They're going to lose again this year, too. That's an interesting stat. Patrick Mahomes has never beaten the Bengals since Joe Burrow's been the quarterback. He's 0-3 against him over the last 2 seasons. And I'll go on record and say the Bengals are going to upset him again. Each of the meetings have been decided by exactly 3 points. Cincinnati outscoring Kansas City 26-6 in the fourth quarter and overtime in those games. Mahomes will join Tom Brady 8 straight and Ken Stabler of the Raiders as the only quarterbacks to start 5 straight conference championship games. That's pretty cool. Stabler's done it 5 times, Brady's done it 8 times, and now Joe Burrow, I remember the Mahomes, I should say, will be doing it for the Chiefs. Chiefs is the first team in NFL history to play 5 consecutive conference championship games at home. So, all kinds of stats. Chiefs are looking to become just the 9th team to reach the Super Bowl 3 times in a 4-year span. Bengals trying to reach the Super Bowl in back-to-back seasons, trying to become the first team to do that since 75. Joe, to reach back-to-back Super Bowls not having a top 2 seed in either season. Bengals are number 4 seed. Who sits around and comes up with all these stats? There's some nerd somewhere with a calculator and a big old book that just says, I got nothing else to do in my life. I'm just going to go back and find these meaningless stats. Well, they're not meaningless, but they're kind of, would you think they're meaningless, Greg, or just trivial or inconsequential or whatever? So, probably. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Ev was here last week. That's all that matters. Mama was in the house last week. It was great. All right, lots of Major League Baseball. Hall of Fame. The Braves. The Angels. He's probably got more than that. We're going to break down which division. AL Central, Greg Sager in the house. He joins us right after this timeout. We are live here again at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. Hello to Craig Jones in Nebraska. Hello to Rick Ranson in Florida. Hello to Junior Campbell in the Tri-Cities. Connie Helms and Amy Whitson. Hello, Amy. Saw her last night at the ball game. Her daughter lit him up again. She can shoot the lights out of it. Quick break. We'll be right back right after this. He joins us here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, live at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City.
To Dr. Justin Smith from Physical Therapy Services. Folks out there may not know. Tell us what it's all about. What's PTS all about?
So PTS is all about just getting people back to the things that they enjoy, the things that they love. Whether it is the athlete that's wanting to get back to playing on the high school, collegiate, even the professional circuit, or it's maybe the grandmother that just wants to be able to hold her grandchild without her shoulder hurting, or her neck hurting, her back hurting. So from womb to tomb, we've got you covered, whether it's the pregnant female that's having some sort of pelvic floor or back pain issues, all the way up to the individual that just wants to be able to get out of a chair again, and everything in between, we got them covered. So we've been in business since 1980. We're the oldest private practice in the state of Tennessee. We're still going strong, and we will continue to be successful because we do things the right way. And ultimately, we take care of the patient that's in front of us. And as long as we do that, everything works out well.
Social media, how do we find you?
So we're on Facebook at Physical Therapy Services. All you got to do is just look up Physical Therapy Services or Physical Therapy in Elizabeth, and we should be the first thing that pops up. So yeah, that's the best way to get in touch with us. You can call us, email us 543-0073 or ptsstaff@yahoo.com with any questions or issues that you have. We'll point you in the right direction. If we can't help you, we know the people that can.
There you go. One of our great sponsors, folks, making it go, Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show, the good folks at Physical Therapy Services.
Boom, there he is. He's here. He's with us. He's in the house. Let's turn this a little bit further and we can see him. There we go. So Ev can see you. She watching?
She's watching,
She better be watching.
She's watching.
She better have her Tom Taylor T-shirt on underneath her Tom Taylor sweatshirt.
She may.
What a treat. I saw you posted on Facebook, and all these people commented about her being on the show.
Oh,
That's really cool.
Yeah, she had one autograph request at church Sunday.
Did she really?
She did, yeah.
That's awesome. Did she do it? Did she sign anything?
I think she just went, yeah.
Old Tom. You need to go buy her Sharpies. She can be packing a Sharpie, so when she wants to sign autographs, she can sign shirts,
somebody can,
foreheads or whatever. So it's really cool. They had homecoming week, Cyclone football. They went back to Harold McCormick Elementary last year. And, of course, the football players that went to Harold McCormick came back. They had a pep rally. Anyway, some of the players had Sharpies. These kids would say, "Will you sign our foreheads?" They were signing a forehead on a Sharpie. So
they go home and their moms are like, "What is that on your head?"
Yeah. Well, they asked me to one little kid, "Will you sign my head?" I said, "I ain't putting my name on your mother will kill me." Tom Taylor across his forehead with a Sharpie. So Ev can be doing that. She can take a Sharpie and sign people on their shirt, on their, I don't know, backpacks or tennis shoes. Now, one year, Jason Witten came to town, and he showed up one of the playoff games kind of unannounced. And so everybody, I mean, how do you not spot Jason Witten anywhere, let alone Elizabeth?
Pretty big guy.
Pretty big guy.
Yeah, he stands
he was
out
in
the
street
crowd.
clothes, but there he was. So anyway, I look up and I saw these kids running barefooted down to where Jason Witten was. And he signed all these kids' shoes on the side of it. Some of them signed the bottom. I thought, why would you sign the bottom? It's going to get scuffed off. But anyway, so Ev, get a Sharpie because you may be in demand to be signing autographs. There you go.
Yeah.
So, well, we got lots to talk about, sir, obviously. Let's see. We have the Magic Baseball folder. The Hall of Fame.
The Hall of Fame.
Scott Rowland, you called it. You said he'd be there, and he got it.
Yeah, barely 76.6%, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, he's in, so deservedly so, I believe. One of the best defensive third basemen in baseball history, and I actually got to see a milestone in his career. I was in the ballpark for his 300th home run.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, he hit it against the Phillies while he's playing for the Reds.
He got 76% on the ballots in his 6th year of eligibility. Todd Helton from Knoxville got 72%. Players can be on the ballot for 10 seasons after a 5-year waiting period. And so here's how they voted. Scott Rowland in, Helton closed, no cigar. Billy Wagner, Andrew Jones, Gary Sheffield, Carlos Beltran, Jeff Kent, who was
now off the ballot.
Yeah, but he was I read his quotes. He said it was a head-scratching embarrassment how these sports writers can just have one guy going in. I tend to agree to a point.
Yeah.
A-Rod, way down the line. He's not going to get in, is he?
No, he's not going to get in.
That's because of his
steroids.
Yeah, performance-enhancing drugs?
Yes.
All right. So, Manny Ramirez, Omar Vizquel, Andy Pettit, Bobby Abreu, Jimmy Rollins, Mark Burley, Francisco Rodriguez. Don't think any of those cats are going to get in, do you?
I don't think so.
Nah. So, all right, Rowland, 7-time All-Star during his 17th career with the Phillies, Cardinals, Blue Jays, and Reds. 8 Gold Gloves, 4th ever for a third baseman. 97 Rookie of the Year, was a member of the Cardinals and won the 06 World Series. So, you said here last week on the show you thought he should get in, and he got in.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, now if Todd Helton and Billy Wagner can get in next year. This was Todd Helton's 5th year on the ballot. I think it's Billy Wagner's 6th year on the ballot. So they've still got like 4 and 5 more chances to get in. Now, and in saying that too, I think we have a legitimate first ballot Hall of Famer that'll be on the ballot next year, and that is Adrian Beltre.
Yeah.
I think he's a slam dunk. So I think he's going in next year, and I just hope that Todd Helton and Billy Wagner go in with him.
Local boys. Knoxville's Todd Helton, Southwest Virginia's Billy Wagner.
Yeah.
So, now, I said this, I was going to talk to you about it when you got here.
Okay.
Only one in. Of course, Fred McGriff's going in too.
Yeah, he is.
So, there's 2 actually going in, but still, all these guys, in fact, I'm going to pull this up. I'm bringing folders now. You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to.
Getting fancy.
Well, just trying to get more organized. There's so much going on in the world of sports.
Yeah, so I moved folders out of the chair instead of just papers.
Just papers, yeah. And the parents just sit there like, well, what am I going to do? I'm thinking, I know what when I was a screamer, I did it once.
Yeah.
Disappeared in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Came by, puffy eyes and a runny nose, but I didn't scream anymore.
I had a bunch of trips to the bathroom when I was a kid.
And a warm seat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. You survived it, and I survived it. Didn't you? Good thrashing. So, still can't believe you locked. Who'd you lock him out? You're 15 years old. Your grandmother?
I was 2 or 3 years old. It was my grandmother. Yes, locked her out of her house. She had one of those little hooks. You know the little hook? It's just a little hook. And they have a little
on the wooden storm door.
Well, it was a metal storm door.
Metal storm door.
I had the hook on it, and I just put that hook over in that little round hole there.
And smiled at her through the window.
I did.
Like the door, like, you ain't getting in.
Yeah.
Now, I jokingly said that you were 15. Your mother quickly came to your defense.
She did.
Quickly. She pounced all over. Tom, he was 2 or 3. So
Yeah.
All right, next year, Adrian Beltre.
Yeah.
Joe Mauer.
Possible.
Chase Utley. Other
Yeah.
first-timers, Jose Bautista, Bartolo Colon, Adrian Gonzalez, Matt Holliday, Victor Martinez, Jose Riaz, and David Wright. I like to see David Wright get in.
I would like to see David Wright get in. I hate to say it, but I think he's kind of a long shot, and it's just because of the injuries. Because, let's face it, when he was at full strength and able to play, he was on his way to the Hall of Fame. There was no doubt about it. But bad back, hurt him, and it hurt his numbers really bad. So one of those guys that you mentioned. I'd like to see him get in just because I'd like to hear his speech, and that's Bartolo Colon. Can you imagine what his Hall of Fame speech might be like?
Yeah. Pretty special guy.
Yeah.
David Wright, by the way, played in Kingsport. Kingsport, man, I got the Kingsport man bobblehead doll somewhere.
Oh, cool.
In my stash of stuff.
Yeah.
I was telling on the show before you got here, I'm going through all these boxes when I get time. It's crazy this time of year, but I'm trying to go through these boxes and purge. And I found Robert Louis Stevenson, about this big, paper. I mean, it's not a hardback. It wouldn't be a paperback, I don't guess, but dated 1916, first edition.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I found the first edition of Margaret Mitchell's Gone with the Wind.
Wow.
Which I would assume is worth some money. I don't know that.
Yeah.
So.
Did you throw them away?
No, I'm hanging on to them.
You threw away a Willie McCovey rookie card.
I did, because I thought it was worthless, and that was dumb on my part. I found the Beatles, the original Capitol Record 45 in a box. Oh. I Want to Hold Your Hand.
Oh.
From 1964, the Beatles. Yeah. So I would think that's probably worth something. I mean, it is the original. It's not it's Capitol Records, the orange and yellow.
Yeah.
You remember Capitol Records? So
yeah.
Think that's worth anything?
Probably, yeah. I had the original Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band LP.
Wow, that's worth some money.
Yeah, I don't have it anymore though.
Threw it away? Did you throw it away like I did Willie McCovey card?
I did.
So you told me about Willie McCovey. You threw away the Beatles. What? So it's touche. I found Pete Rose baseball 42-36. Is that what it?
42-56.
56. What he signed.
Yeah.
It's legit. So, reckon that's worth anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So anyway,
he signs a lot of autographs, but his signature's still worth something.
And he bets too. Makes a lot of bets. All right, here we go. Old Peter Rose.
Peter Edward Rose.
Shoot yourself in the foot, Peter. Big ding dong. I want to distance myself from the gambling schemes I was involved in, the gambling accusations, and he goes right out and makes the first bet in Ohio for what? What was it again?
For the Reds to win the World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he just placed a bet somewhere in Ohio.
Yeah, it was somewhere in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
But it was like at midnight on New Year's Day, so he could. I think they gave him the privilege of being the first one to do that. I think people let him in front of them in line and stuff because it was the first day of legal sports gambling in Ohio, and they gave him the honor, I guess you could say, of placing the very first bet.
So if I'm a shoplifter and I want to get away from the stigma that I'm a shoplifter, what would be the last thing I would do? Go in and shoplift.
Yeah.
So if I'm a bettor and I want to get away from that stigma that I'm a gambler on baseball and in sports, what would be the last thing I do is to go place a bet, be the first one to place a bet.
Yeah.
What a moron.
Yeah.
And I love Pete Rose. I think he's awesome.
Threw his money away, though.
Yeah, but threw his career away, really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on that bet, I think the Reds are an 8,000 to 1 shot or something like that of winning.
20-28
odds or something. Yeah.
Next time they're going to be competitive is like 20-20. They lost Tommy Pham, didn't they?
Oh yeah, but that was Reds fans weren't crying over that one.
Oh.
So not a good presence in the clubhouse. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, we weren't real excited about him signing with the Reds. Weren't real upset when the Reds traded him.
Sayonara, huh?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
Right. Let's take a look at the Braves. Braves say they're going to give Vaughn Grissom a chance to win the starting job at shortstop because they lost Dansby Swanson. Is Vaughn Grissom a good shortstop?
He is, and it's going to be interesting because range is going to be more important now since they don't have the shift anymore. So I'm anxious to see how his range compares to Dansby Swanson. But yeah, I mean, he's the heir apparent. He's the guy that's coming up that you would say if they have somebody that is in their system already without going out and getting somebody else, he would be the guy that you would look at to take that position.
He's 6'3" and 210. Pretty big guy for a shortstop.
Yeah.
So does that limit his range some or not?
It might.
Yeah.
It might. The Reds have a shortstop that's 6'5" coming up through the minors. That's their number one prospect, and
they'll trade him. He'll never make it. They'll get rid of him.
He's also the fastest player in the minor leagues right now, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
His name's Ellie De La Cruz.
Ellie De La Cruz, he will not be with the Reds, I'll predict. They'll trade him to the Marlins for a bag of popcorn and a 44th pick or something. Reds are morons. They're morons. All right. Brave superstar Ronald Acuna Jr. wants to play in the World Baseball Classic for his team Venezuela. Braves said, nah, not happening.
He left it up to the Braves medical staff, and which I think was good. I mean, he needed to do that, I think. But he came out saying, I want to play, but if they don't think I should, then I won't. And that's what they said, which I don't blame them. I mean, the guy was hurt, and they really had to. Well, it was year before last, they won the World Series basically without him.
Yeah.
So. But he's one of the most exciting players in baseball, and you want him on the field. People pay to come see him.
He posted and quickly deleted an Instagram story questioning why he could not play for Venezuela after most of the 22 MLB season.
Yeah.
So they said, nope, because you tore your ACL 2 years ago. We want to make sure you're okay. And I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally understand that.
Yeah.
If I'm under contract, if I'm paying you to come on this show, and you go on another show, which is a kind of a goofy analysis, then I would be upset because I'm paying you to be on my show.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, I'm paying you to be a Brave and not play for Venezuela. I understand it, but it just takes one bad move, another retorn, and you're out. So, Artie Moreno, the Angel, by the way, we're going to pick the American League Central coming up here in a second. Artie Moreno, the owner of the Angels, says, taking them off the market, I'm going to hold on to them and continue to own this team. That's an interesting change.
Yeah.
So, he was wanting to sell it for $2.5 billion, and I don't know whether Golden State Warriors owner Joe Lacob was interested in getting it, but now they say they're going to back off, and he's backing off. So Angels are going to be held on by the owner, Artie Moreno. Last thing, the Twins acquiring veteran Michael Taylor. There's that child again. Yeah. Michael Taylor from the Kansas City Royals, adding depth and defense to their outfield. Is that a good move for Taylor? Good move for the Twins?
Yeah, I think it is. Interesting move. You mean the
Michael Taylor?
Yes, the Twins. He will not play center field though for the Twins. Byron Buxton will be there. He'll play sporadically in center field, but he'll be a corner outfielder for the Twins.
Evan Carter, Elizabethton twin, now Texas Ranger. Got it on good authority from his father-in-law. Guess who he hung out with? You'll never guess. He hung out on the weekend, went down and hung out, stayed at his house, worked out with him.
Jacob deGrom.
Nope.
Okay.
Kyle Schwarber.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
He went to Florida and signed a endorsement with Marucci Bats.
Yeah.
And he's also signed an endorsement with Adidas.
Okay.
So, Evan Carter, getting ready to report to spring training here soon, obviously, but this that's pretty cool.
That is.
Now, I don't know whether he knew him or the Rangers said go hang with this guy. Kyle Schwarber's a pretty good guy to hang with, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. From Middletown, Ohio.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Schwarber? I don't know where.
Yeah.
I don't know where he went to spend the weekend with him, but.
So if you watched the Reds games when Tom Brenneman, bless his heart, when he was broadcasting Reds games, every single time Kyle Schwarber's name was mentioned, he pointed out that he was from Middletown, Ohio, which is a suburb of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Every time.
I was not a fan of his. I mean, Daddy was the greatest, I think, but
Yeah.
Tom, nah, I just didn't. He was okay.
Yeah.
But he didn't. didn't flip my trigger too much as an announcer.
Yeah.
So, and I don't normally say that, but I mean he's okay. But yeah, I can see him doing that. He would go on rabbit trails.
Yeah.
In the middle of the game, and but anyway, so
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there. All right, American League Central. Here we go. Let's see. We have Chicago, we have Detroit, we have Kansas City, we have Minnesota, and we have Cleveland. Correct?
Yes.
Did I get them right?
Yeah.
White Sox, Tigers, Kansas City, Minnesota, Cleveland.
Yes.
He picks the division. So we're going to start with the bottom, work our way up. So the bottom of the division. Let me think here. The bottom of the division would be the Kansas City Royals.
Close.
Detroit.
Detroit.
And who's going to win one of those?
Yeah, I'm picking Detroit. Okay, so Detroit's got some interesting pitchers. They've got Matthew Boyd. They've got Michael Lorenzen. I hate to pick Detroit last in that division because it's Miguel Cabrera's last season, and you'd love to see him go out winning a bunch of games, but unfortunately, I just don't think they have the team to put on the field to see him do that.
Who's their offense? That'd be the question.
Yeah, Javi Baez is their shortstop, and he has just not panned out after he left the Cubs, because it's like okay, when he was playing for the Cubs, he had a lot of good bats around him. Chris Bryant and Schwarber and all those guys were there, and it's like he went to the Mets and he did okay, but not great. But since he left there, and he has not produced, and I think what that shows us is he needed some bats in the lineup around him to get the pitches that he would need to produce, and he's not been able to do it.
So Detroit is your rock bottom now. Is Norris still with him or not? I haven't heard anything.
He's a free agent,
Okay.
so
I haven't heard anything about
he
it.
is not with anyone at the current time.
All right. Number 4 would be Kansas City?
Yes,
All
I'm
right.
picking Kansas City, number 4. Kansas City's made some interesting moves.
They have.
They have Amir Garrett now. They have
Really?
just signed Aroldis Chapman,
Yep.
which was an interesting move. The first baseman, I can't think of his name right now off the top of my head, is a rookie. Vinny, Italian name. I can't. It starts with a P. Let me find him because he fascinates me. He's going to be a good player one day. Of course, Bobby Witt is their shortstop.
Yep.
They've got some good pieces there. I just don't think they're going to have what they need to compete.
We're live at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City tomorrow. Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton, Friday, Food City. This week we'll be in Elizabethton again, Food City, on a Food City Friday. So we're picking American League Central, Detroit, rock bottom, Kansas City, number 4. The number 3, we're down to Chicago, Minnesota, and Cleveland. You're going to pick for the third place team in the American League Central this year. I'm going to say you're going to go with the Chicago White Sox.
You would be correct. I am. Yeah. So I've been talking for 2 or 3 years now about how I love this young lineup of the Chicago White Sox and how what a the possibility that they have of just really meshing and doing well, but so far they haven't done it. They've not shown me what I thought they would show me. Yohan Moncada at third base. Eloy Jimenez, is a fantastic player. Luis Robert is their center fielder. He's been hurt, so he's not been able to play quite as much. But I like their pitching. Especially their starting pitching. Now we didn't even talk about Mike Clevenger. That's going to be an issue as well.
Yep. Domestic violence.
Yeah. So whether or not he'll even be able to play.
Yeah. That's the one I like from the Padres. Taps his foot, right?
Yeah.
The long-haired dude.
Yeah.
So he got in trouble. He's got a innocent until proven guilty, but still accusations are there.
Yeah.
Over a domestic situation that Major League Baseball is going to look into, and they should. So
yeah.
So we'll see what the latest is on that. So Clevenger, who came over from the Padres to the White Sox, so now he's kind of, I would think, in a holding pattern until they find out what's going on, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
And of course, the White Sox have said they knew nothing about any of that before their signing, and of course, probably true.
Yeah.
The guy I was trying to think of for the Royals, Vinny Pasquantino.
I knew that. I just didn't.
Vinny Pasquantino.
Vinny Pasquantino.
Yeah, he's a rookie this year. I'm anxious to see what he's going to be able to do. First baseman, DH.
All right.
So.
Vinny Pasquantino.
Yeah.
Good Italian boy.
Yeah.
All right, number 2. The Flying Thunderbirds. I don't know what their name are. Cleveland something. What are these? The Guardians?
The Guardians.
Guardians of the North Star, whatever. Some goofy name. So.
Yeah.
You got Cleveland number 2?
I got Cleveland number 2.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, I'm learning you. So.
Yeah. Shane Bieber is going to be at the top of that rotation. They got a good shot to win every game he pitches, that's for sure. Of course, Ramirez at third base is their big star. You know, I like their team. I think they could be a playoff team again this year, but I just don't think they're going to win the division.
Yeah. What are the Guardians?
Yeah, the
I
Guardians.
The Flying Thunderbirds.
Yeah, the Guardians.
Some stupid name, the Guardians. What does that mean? What are the Guardians, pray tell?
So evidently they have these gargoyle things around the city on buildings or on bridges or something, and they're supposed to be these guardian things.
There you go.
Yeah, so
We've
that's
named
why
the franchise after gargoyles in the building.
Yeah, that's from my understanding.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
What was it? Well, obviously somebody didn't want the Indians to still be the Indians, but you know,
Yeah.
and they started this movement to get rid of all these Indian names,
Mm-hmm.
Native American Indian names across all the country and all the sports.
Yeah.
And it hasn't gone anywhere.
No.
No. I mean, you just look here in our area. If you stop and think, the Native American teams, Dobbins Unit Indians, John Sevier Warriors, Robinson Redskins,
Yeah.
Happy Valley Warriors, Cherokee Chiefs. It's just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave somebody out, I'm sure. But, I mean, there's 5 or 6 right there off the top of my head that are tied into the Native Americans. So the Indians, they tried it with the Braves. And
Braves said no.
No. So,
Yeah.
but Cleveland caved for whatever.
Yeah.
And so they're now the Guardians. So it's Gargoyles on Buildings is what we named this team after.
Yeah,
basically.
evidently. Yeah, so it seems like the big teams are the ones that really go after, you know, Cleveland Indians, Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
The one I really hope that doesn't cave in on that is the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah, I like that.
I love that logo.
Yeah.
You know,
Hockey
I
team.
really hope they don't
Yeah.
cave in on that because it's pretty cool.
Yep. So the top team he's picking to win the American League Central, the Twinkies, the Minnesota
The
Twins.
Minnesota Twins, especially when they were able to re-sign Carlos Correa, which was a fiasco, but they were able to pull that off. I like their pitching. I like Chris Paddock. I like Sonny Gray. And when they made the trade, now they traded away the leading hitter in the American League last year, Luis Arias, to the Miami Marlins, but they got Pablo Lopez for him. He's going to be a top of the line
pretty good
starter.
pick. Yeah.
So, so they got him and 2 other guys for Luis Arias, who I just said it. He led the league in hitting last year, but everything I've been reading is Minnesota fleeced Miami in that trade. I don't think so. I don't think it was as bad as what everybody's saying, because I think Arias is going to step into Miami and be their second baseman instead of their first baseman, and I think he's going to do well. I think he's going to help that team a whole lot, but it's in a really tough division.
So you pick Minnesota, Cleveland, Chicago, Kansas City, Detroit in that order.
I did.
Yeah. Next week, what are we doing? Who are we doing next week? Which division?
Let's go back to the National League. You want to do the East?
We'll do the East next week. Yeah, we'll be in Elizabethton, so we'll be
Okay.
NL East next week. So there you
Okay.
go. Anything else you want to leave us with? I know you're hungry.
Yes,
We're gonna
sir. I am hungry.
Yeah.
So, I was trying to think. Let's see. Is there something else that I wanted to say today?
Get it off your chest. So,
Yeah.
The Cleveland Gargoyles.
Yeah.
I love it.
Cleveland whatevers, but
The Guardians. They guard the city with these gargoyles in the buildings. That's how we got the nickname.
That's from my understanding. That's how they got it. Something
Stupid.
like that.
Okay.
So
Now, what if somebody was offended? What if I'm a gargoyle guy? I'm just saying. I'm a gargoyle guy, and I'm offended because you've named your team after my gargoyles up in the building. This is how silly it is. So I get the whole thing about the Native Americans. I'm not putting down them at all, but
yeah,
to switch a franchise and name it after gargoyles, so I just don't get it. But
I would think if you were a gargoyle guy, though, Tom, you would be honored that they named the team after your guardian.
Well, maybe.
So-
Maybe so.
I don't know.
Now I'm happy. Now, okay, I just went from sad to happy.
I mean,
So-
what kills me is just the way nobody took into consideration that the Indians, Cleveland named their team the Indians to honor
It was an honor.
Louis Sockalexis.
Yeah.
You know.
But that never came up.
No, they don't want to hear that. They did it to honor a Native American player that they had. And
That's the whole reason.
yeah, so
What was the I mean, why did the Braves, out of all the things they could have named them, a team in the South, of course, once was Milwaukee, why did they name them the Braves?
yeah.
There's probably a story behind that, too.
Yeah, of course, they originally came from Boston.
Yeah.
And there was even 2 years there, I think it was in the late 30s, early 40s, they were called the Bees. They
The
were not
Boston
even called
Bees?
The Boston Bees.
I mean, like
Bees.
like
bees.
honeybees
Yeah.
and sweat bees and bees,
Yeah.
bees. Not just a
Yeah, they
not
were
just a
called the
letter.
Boston Bees.
I got you. So
So
it's just another one of those perplexing things in the world of sports.
it is. It is.
How did the Blackhawks get named Chicago Blackhawks? I don't know, but the Indians that got changed were named in honor of a Native American.
Yeah.
Louis
Sockalexis. Yeah.
So I don't understand, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm
So
not-
they did it to honor him, and then everybody got offended by it.
I'm not paid to understand. I'm paid to report, I guess.
Yeah,
So there you go.
and I'll be honest. I think it's a generation thing. You know, I think our generation's not going to get it. I had this conversation with my daughter the other day, and she totally gets it. She totally sees why there's a problem with that. I said, I don't get it. I'm sorry.
I don't get a lot of things going on now.
We were raised in a different time.
Amen.
And we think differently because of that.
Twinkies winning it this year. American League Central. Next week we'll do the National League East, right?
Yeah, we'll do National League East next
All right.
week, and I could just about tell you that one today, maybe.
Yeah,
But
that's all right. We'll
we'll
leave them in suspense.
We'll do it next week.
Ev, have a good day, dear. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. He's here. Commander Birchfield in the house. Sports writer, Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. And also Ned Smith will join us coming up here by phone in just a few minutes here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
It's important to hire a professional because you want a quality, trained, and licensed person working in your home. All of my staff are factory trained and have years of experience. With today's technology in heating and air conditioning systems, you want a trained professional working on your system. Our motivation to provide our customers with the best service is years of experience. We've been in business for 35 years and we plan on being in business for another 35 years, so we want to make our customers happy.
So I stopped in at Chick-fil-A for lunch and saw Officer Wilson come in. I decided to place a dine-in mobile order and have a cookie delivered to him just to show appreciation for his service for our community.
A few minutes later, I noticed that Officer Wilson had gotten up and left, and I knew he hadn't gotten his cookie yet.
And I'm headed to my car. I turn around and I see Allie, and she's running after me.
Mr. Police Officer, Mr. Police Officer.
Usually when someone yells officer, officer, they want to ask me about a ticket they got. I absolutely wanted the cookie. This cookie's delicious.
Well, in our office, we understand that there are a lot of patients out there that have dental phobias. And here we try to provide a warm, caring environment for our patients where the patients get the highest level dental care possible, at the same time receiving it in a warm environment where they feel comfortable receiving that care.
Things you offer.
We offer dentistry for the whole family, from the little ones all the way up to grandparents. We provide cleanings, we provide fillings, crowns, bridges, cosmetic dentistry, we restore implants. We try to provide excellent dental care for the whole family.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, let's go to the phonies there. Coach Ned Smith of the 4th-ranked Hampton boys basketball team. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Congratulations, man. You were in a barn burner last night up in Mountain City. Tell me about it.
Just two good teams going at it. We come out, got about a 10-point lead, and that's just kind of where it ended up. We won by about 8 or 10 points, and seems like that lead there, we just kind of stayed the same and swapped baskets the rest of the night after we got I think it's a 22-12 lead or something like that. We just kind of stayed 10 points. But Mountain City got a big kid, got some good guards, and they shot the ball real well last night. So it was a good ball game, big crowd, good atmosphere.
Yep. Tell me, Buckles had a big night, did he not? And somebody had a double-double for Hampton.
Yeah, Caden, I think he got 23 or 4, and Hayden Campbell also got 22 or 3 and 10 big rebounds. Played real well.
So we've talked about this before, talking to Coach Smith. You are now 4th in the state in boys basketball in single A. Do you worry about that? You okay? You went up a notch. Is that a good thing? I know it's a good thing for the community, but how's the coaching staff take that?
Oh, well, I don't even look at it, so it don't bother me none.
There you go. Good answer.
We just get prepared for the next one.
And the next one will be Friday night at Unaka. Is that correct?
That's right. Friday night at Unaka, and they're playing real well. They've got a Ramsey kid playing real well. Been getting 30s last 2 or 3 nights, and they've really improved. And we've got to go up there ready to play.
So the standings right now: Hampton 4-0, University High 2-2, North Green 2-2, Unaka 1-3, and Cloudland 1-3. So it's been, even though the records are a little bit lopsided on the bottom end of it, it's still been a very competitive league so far, hasn't it?
It is. Unaka just beat North Green Friday night. Very competitive. I think Fallon's beat Unaka, so it's a very competitive league right now.
So you know what I'm going to ask you? I do this every time we wrap up the interview. Right now, grade your team. I know you keep getting better each game, and right now, where are you? A, B, C, or D for Hampton basketball?
We're about a B. We've had some injuries. Chance has turned his ankle. He's out for another 3 weeks. Trivett turned his ankle in practice a couple of days ago, so we've got some injuries, and our bench played real well, and we've got to work our bench. Our bench has got to play even better. We've got to play more kids. So we've got our work cut out. We just got to keep plugging away and get kids better.
There you go. Coach, great report. Thanks for checking in with us even on the day off. Thank you. I know Carter County schools are closed, so thanks for checking with us, and we'll talk to you next week, all right?
Okay, thanks a bunch.
Yes, sir. Good man. Coach Ned Smith, the Hampton Bulldogs, 4th-ranked team in the state. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back. Jeff Birchfield sitting here right beside me, sports writer, John City Press, Kingsport Times News, and we'll get him in right after this break from Physical Therapy Services, show number 1783, I think it is, on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. From Physical Therapy Services, one of our great sponsors. You work with pediatrics at PTS. Tell me about that.
I do not. I work with pediatric athletes, but yes, we do pediatric at 1500 in the medical care building. That's when they work with people that they're developmentally delayed, where they're having a hard time walking, crawling, that kind of thing. Also Down syndrome, autism, all of that. And so they work, PT and OT work in conjunction with each other to help these kids get back to normal life.
Something that they treat a lot more than I realized, headaches. A lot of folks come in with headaches and you help them. Tell me about that.
Yep. So headaches can come from the neck. It can come from, you can have vertigo and headaches and that kind of thing. So what we do is we do an evaluation, see if we can kind of pinpoint where those headaches are coming from, either refer them out if they need other help from like an ENT or something like that, a migraine specialist, or if we think that we can help them, we'll treat their neck and whatever other issues that they have going along with that.
Social media, how do we find you?
We have Facebooks for the pediatric and the ortho clinics, and then you can either call us or find me on a sideline somewhere.
Dr. Aaron Kaiser, one of our great sponsors with Physical Therapy Services of Cyclone Football and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, let's go to the phonies there, or not go to the phonies here in person. We just had Coach Smith on the phone, so now we got him in person live and in 3D Panavision, our buddy Jeff Birchfield. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you, Tom?
Doing good. Say hello to Craig Jones watching in Nebraska. Say hello to Craig.
Hello, Craig.
Hello to Rick Ranson down in Pensacola.
Hey, yeah, I enjoy the beach down there in Pensacola.
Yep. And hello to Junior Campbell. Tri-Cities watching.
Well, that's awesome. Tri-Cities.
Yep, they're all over the place. So, and that's what we like, and we appreciate that very much. So, where do we start? Did you watch NFL Sunday?
I did watch NFL. I watched the Cowboys game. Earlier game I didn't get to see a lot of. I saw, though, the Bengals obviously playing very, very well right now. Looked like possibly the best team out there at the moment.
Yep. You got the Bengals and the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. 49ers and Philadelphia NFC. Let's go back. Go back to the Cowboys game. What went wrong? Something just didn't. They just didn't click.
Dak Prescott made my team, the Panthers. So I'm hoping they don't hire him.
Yeah.
So, that formation at the end of the game, I'm like, what in tarnation is this?
Exactly.
That's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
You put Ezekiel Elliott in the center. You have your formation, and the 49ers called timeout like, what are they doing? So I thought, well, maybe it's a decoy. Maybe they're going to just kind of smoke screen, come back with a real play. But they didn't. They came back, and so, Prescott steps back and hits Turpin on a slant. The wide receiver, he gets tackled, the game's over.
Yeah, he gets tackled as soon as he catches the ball. As I don't know. These are supposed to be the elite, the best coaches in the entire football, profession. But that one's mind-blowing.
All right, so here's my questions for you. Dak Prescott, gone, they're going to keep him because he's underperforming.
I think with this contract, they still have to keep him, another year or two. The Cowboys made such a financial investment there as just set them back, though, in a lot of ways.
Yep. Jerry Jones says he's frustrated with the franchise. Mike McCarthy in trouble, the coach?
Well, I think he can be, but Jones pretty much said the other day that he's going to keep McCarthy for whatever that's worth, for another season. I think the game at Tampa Bay, which that's been the whole thing with Dak Prescott. He'll play terrific one game and then turn around just the inconsistency, but that might have saved McCarthy's job the way they played against Tampa.
Yeah. Well, they didn't play very good against the 49ers, so can San Francisco go into Philadelphia and beat them?
I think they're good enough defensively. Now, Brock Purdy as a rookie, they're being pretty conservative with their offense, and they may have to open it up a little bit to have a shot of beating Philadelphia for sure.
49ers, Phillies, you got the Philadelphia Phillies, Jalen Hurts, and Brock Purdy, two of the youngest quarterbacks in NFC Championship games, so who are you going with, 49ers or Eagles?
I think I'm going to probably go with the Eagles on that one, although in a way I'd like to see the Bengals and 49ers play in the Super Bowl for a third time.
I'm going to say the Bengals are going to beat the Chiefs. That's got a funny feeling. So.
Well, yeah, I think with Patrick Mahomes with that ankle injury, he was able to come back and play right after it happened, but after I'm sure it's sore as can be right now and stuff, the way it's twisted, and I just think he's probably going to struggle some in the AFC Championship game. Plus, the Bengals, they've had the Chiefs' number lately anyway.
First guarantee where the Bengals won't go, the defensive guys. They're going to go for the ankle of Patrick Mahomes. Try and rock it a little bit, see if they can hit it. That sounds dirty, but that's the world we're living in, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so, really. The thing sort of scares me on that long term with Patrick Mahomes. That's sort of where Tua Tagovailoa's, problems at Alabama started and stuff. And my brother, he makes this statement all the time. He said these running quarterbacks, he includes Joe Burrow, all those guys in there. He said none of them's going to come close to matching Tom Brady's numbers because they stay hurt, because the one thing with Brady, and I know a lot of people criticize him for this, but he either throws the ball away or if he's getting tackled, he don't try to resist it. He falls with the tackle, where it doesn't, just uses the momentum, comes back and live another day.
Bengals or Chiefs?
I think the Bengals going to win it.
Yep, so. I do too. I'm going with the Bengals. And after I saw George Kittle make that catch over the middle for the 49ers, I think something tells me that he's going to be a big player this game Sunday, and they're going to upset the Eagles in Philadelphia. Maybe smoking something, that's what I got. I got the Bengals and the Eagles in the Super Bowl, so we'll see. We're talking to our buddy Jeff Birchfield, so Stetson Bennett, can he play in the National Football League, do you think?
I think he can. I mean, he's probably not going to be a guy who's probably going to be a starter for most of his career, but I think he could have a decent career and be a solid backup. And, the guy's proven he's a winner. I mean, and he throws a very, very nice ball. I mean, some of those completions in both the Ohio State game and the TCU game, I mean, he's right on target,
Josh Heupel, big pay raise, goes from $4 to $9 million, 18-8 at Tennessee, 11-2 last year. We know all about that, beating Clemson in the Orange Bowl. Is he worth it? Going up to $9 million, tied with Stoops of Kentucky, the 5th highest paid coach in the SEC.
It's I had this discussion yesterday with someone, and it's like, well, number one, I mean, Tennessee's such a huge business, Tennessee football, as far as like entertainment and all that. So, yeah, from that standpoint, the money it brings in, he's definitely worth it. On the other hand, as you and I have talked before on these college campuses, you have professors doing research to cure cancer and stuff like this, and it's insane that coaches are making that much more money than some of those people.
Yeah, it's out of kilter, no question, but it's called supply and demand, and so that's what they've got, that's what they're doing. So Heupel gets a big pay raise. All right, NASCAR, switch gears. They're gearing up. What's going on in NASCAR right now?
Well, getting ready for the Clash here in about a week and a half, and I'll have a thing in Monday's paper, sort of a preview of the season and all as I see it, and give you my Championship 4 prediction. I didn't do too hot last year. I had Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., and only one of those guys, Chase Elliott's the only one made to the Championship 4, and of course Joey Logano ended up winning the championship. But who in the world would have ever picked Ross Chastain and Christopher Bell as 2 of the Final 4 guys?
Yeah. Well, I picked Joey Logano, didn't I?
I think you did, but actually we had the bet as far as championship, and I think you went with Kyle Busch, and I went with Denny Hamlin.
Sir, can you validate that? I'm pretty sure I said Joey Logano to win it all.
Well, I mean, you did at the championship race, but I'm thinking at the first of the season, but you know how it is. I think you may owe me a lunch here at Chick-fil-A. So
you're about to get one. So
yeah, sounds good.
Are you sure? I think your memory's a little foggy. I'm pretty sure I took Joey Logano.
We need like that commercial where they do the instant replay deal there for sure.
No, I did not. I took Kyle Busch to win it. What will he do this year in RCR? Think he'll be all right?
I think he'll win some races. I don't see Kyle Busch winning the championship with RCR, but I mean, he's going to be plenty motivated, and that car was really fast at a lot of tracks. So, RCR's not won a series championship since 1994, which is Earnhardt's 7th and final one. And they've not been in the championship race since 2014 with Ryan Newman. So it's, they've not had great recent performance. But, of course, last year they did a lot of testing with the next-gen car. And, I mean, RCR seems to be on its way back to some degree.
They're testing an Abreva, I'm not sure what they're calling it, a next-gen car down in Phoenix right now. What's going on with all that?
Yeah, one of that, the problems they had, the safety issue at the back bumper and all that, they've done a lot of crash testing, too, with the car and all that. So, it's given some guys a chance to get laps in the actual race car, and then they do the simulator, and those simulators are so good anymore, like Jimmy Johnson was talking about, where he hadn't been in the next-gen car, but he's really getting up to speed by using that simulator.
So, who are we watching this year? Obviously watching Kyle Busch. Who else are you going to be tracking to see? They made some personnel changes, and you're going to keep an eye on them. Who else?
Well, I think not really personnel changes, but Kyle Larson had such a monster year 2 years ago, and then last year, I mean, he sort of is my favorite going into the season, and then Joey Logano, obviously, coming off of 2 championships in the last 5 years, I think he's a guy we got to watch. Chase Elliott, I think, is another guy. And I'm curious with Denny Hamlin. I picked him to win it all last year. Denny's now 42 years old. Really looked like he was going to make the championship 4, and then Chastain makes that, video game move at Martinsville, knocks him out. But I sort of think Denny, the races he didn't win last year, that team didn't run very well, but I think Joe Gibbs Racing will make a pretty big comeback this year, and I think Denny will do really well.
I think Hamlin's best days are behind him because he's got this I think he's got, he's driving, but he's got this team over here he's involved in now. And I think it's kind of taking away some of his competitive edge. What do you think?
Well, I don't know if so much competitive edge, but I know what you're saying, though, with the focus and all, and he, I guess it is human nature. You're a little worried about, your business investment over there as well as what you're doing on the track. So,
yep.
Yeah, I can see that a little bit.
Yep. Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, all the boys will be going to L.A. for the Clash. You like the Clash being at L.A.?
I prefer it in Daytona. I sort of liked it the year they did the Daytona road course. I thought that gave it a little different feel, although, I guess a traditionalist sort of likes just having a few cars involved. They basically got the whole field anymore. It used to be something special, just guys who won pole positions the year before qualified, and it's just a short little fun race, like 20 laps, 50 miles, to decide it. And, it's just all out sprint, and it was a lot of fun, back in the days they did that.
What's going on in Bristol right now? Anything, any updates, any news of BMS?
Yeah, they're obviously putting the dirt on the track right now, and that's going very well. And then yesterday they announced, it's something we'd reported a couple weeks before because that actually saw from those 2 series that are coming, but it's going to have the American Pro Late Model Series, and then the Steel Block Bandits are going to be coming to Bristol like on April the 1st, so that's going to be a lead-in, the week before the NASCAR weekend. They don't have the big schedule like they've had in years past with the World of Outlaws and all that. Bristol, there's positives and negatives. There's the prestige obviously winning Bristol, but for the racers, if you don't win, that is a place that's really hard on equipment and all.
Yep. So are you sold on the dirt?
I've been okay with it so far, but I think that it's sort of run its course. I think after this year, I'd like to see them go back to the concrete in the spring.
So you got dirt at night on Easter Sunday. Is that correct this year?
Yeah, sure is. For a second year in a row, actually.
Yeah. So dirt, night race, spring race, Bristol on Easter Sunday. So there you go. Now some folks have a problem with that. I'll be one of them, but that's okay. So they didn't ask me. They're going to go ahead and schedule it anyway. So, but that's where it's going to be. And you're how many weeks out from the Daytona 500? 3 or 4 weeks out?
Yeah, it's coming up here in the middle of February, so not long at all.
So what are the drivers doing now?
Oh, well, I guess a lot of them, like I said, are doing the simulators and all that and trying to, sharpen their skills before the start of the season. I'm just a week and a half away as far as the Clash.
Yep. So for the Clash, they all go to L.A. to Coliseum. And what's the format?
Well, they do the I'll have to look at it, honestly, on the Clash. I remember last year they had the heat races and all that, so I'm sure it's pretty similar again this year.
They stair-step it and go from here to here to here and get a champion, right?
Yeah, and then you go, the main event, the main feature and stuff, so that's good.
Yep, it's all good. Females in the sport, any updates on any of the ladies?
Well, not really on the NASCAR side. Now, obviously on NHRA, Brittany Force ended up winning her second, Top Fuel championship. Of course, it's funny, she's sort of the quietest one of the Force daughters, really, and all that, but she's been the one really to carry the mantle and all for the, females in that family. So that's really been neat to see, for her, and just with Top Fuel, how she's done so well, in that class.
So the NASCAR ladies, not much news. Haley and, I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, well, Haley, she's running, some Busch Series, or Xfinity Series. Here I'm calling it Busch Series still after all these years. In the ARCA Series, you had a couple ladies who were, leading the speed charts. And, of course, even had an actor down there, Freddie Muniz, who played the lead character in Malcolm in the Middle. He's doing the ARCA race as well.
High school basketball, busy out here right now, isn't it?
It is. Just talking to Ed Smith earlier, that was one of the games I helped on the roundup after I did my high school wrestling last night and my Bristol Motor Speedway report, and so just had a busy night. But, big win for the Bulldogs up there in Johnson County. Always tough rivalry game up there, and those kids in Johnson County always play tough. And then big win for Science Hill last night, able to beat Daniel Boone. They've had a tough season, able to come through with a good win. And then Dobbins Bennett with a huge win over Westridge last night. I had Westridge Saturday when they played Gate City, a thrilling game that Wolves were able to pull out. And then, of course, Sullivan East, you and I had that game over there, was the triple overtime, but then they come back and beat Elizabethton last night, got a little measure of revenge right there.
Yep. Yeah, Westridge, we had a game Friday night. Wade Witcher had a big night for the Wolves. He and Harris had a big night for the Westridge Wolves and Dawson Arnold. So it's a lot. We're coming down the home stretch of the league, and so the tournament's been coming up here in probably 2 or 3 weeks. So it's exciting times, and it is what it is. So Wrestling last night, Dobbins Bennett, man, they drilled Science Hill 70-9.
70-9.
Wow.
Now, a little bit of a disclaimer on that, though. Science Hill won their semifinal match, and Dobbins Bennett did beat Science Hill pretty substantially the week before in the conference. So Coach Miller, he decided to, wrestle a few more of his JV and younger guys, in the finals. But still, that Dobbins Bennett team's loaded. Probably the best Dobbins Bennett wrestling team ever since I've been covering them. They've had some great wrestlers before, guys like the Morset brothers and all them that were state, runners-up and state champions. But really, I think this year's team, you've got Max Norman, Garrett Crowder, some of those guys. I think it's probably the best top-to-bottom Dobbins Bennett team I've ever seen over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wrestling's fun. Once you go watch it, it's contagious. It'll hook you on it.
Yeah. And we've got a mutual friend, Kathy, her son Perry. He's doing really well. He is actually one of the 2 Science Hill kids to win in the final there.
Perry Tate, good kid.
Yeah.
So's Kathy. She's a good girl.
Yeah, very nice lady.
Yep, very nice lady. All right, so what are you working on feature stories coming up? Anything you want besides the NASCAR preview?
Well, besides the NASCAR, actually, my race notes tomorrow is more of a local theme. I've got Jensen Ford from Johnson City. He's actually won the Sunshine Classic 602 Late Model Championship last week down in Florida. Still racing in Florida. He's racing in Tampa tomorrow night. And then I've got Lonesome Pine Raceway is supposed to actually, or I guess I need to change it. It's now Lonesome Pine Motorsports Park. They're supposed to release their schedule a little later today, and then we've got some, other local notes there. Cherokee Race Park, the dragway down there in Rogersville, got a couple little blurbs about them I need to mention. And then after that, like I said, I got a NASCAR preview coming up. I'll do the high school roundup in basketball again Friday, and then Saturday, just trying to make sure we didn't miss anything, and maybe if there's a good game, I'll try to get out there and get to a game on Saturday.
Wish you'd found something to do. You got a lot of downtime. We need to call somebody and say, give him some work. He's sitting around twiddling his thumbs and playing Uno on the computer, so we need to keep you busy. You're not doing enough.
I'm like the old Statler Brothers song, playing solitaire till dawn with a deck of 51.
Yeah. Not many people out there remember the Statler Brothers, I can tell you that. So
that means we're old, right?
Yeah, this means we enjoy good music, good country music. So, all right, you hungry?
Yeah, ready
for
one
of these?
I did.
Okay, so you could have lied, and I could have gave you another one. So, but no, he's a good guy. I like him a lot. Jeff Birchfield, sports writer, Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. What was the cool thing for me? Whenever it was, back in the fall, I spoke at Sinking Creek Baptist Church, went in one Sunday. I was pinch hitting for Chuck Babb, looked about 8 pews back, and there sat Commander Birchfield sitting in the Lord's house on a Sunday, which is good.
That's good, and lightning didn't strike either one of us, so we did all right.
That's right. And you didn't throw any tomatoes at me either, so I got through unscathed.
I guess one good thing, you was talking in the NFL we started with, that I always look forward to after the Super Bowl teams are, finalized, always call the local high school coaches, and it's become popular with those guys. They seem to look forward to it as well as far as making their predictions on who they think will win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Which I found out they're no better than us picking.
No, they're not. I got Sean coming Friday to pick the 2 championship games. So Bengals in Kansas City and the 49ers in Philadelphia. I haven't checked the weather forecast in one of those cities, but I would assume being outdoor stadiums, it will play in January, take into effect what's going to be happening. So, but out here today, it's nice in January.
Yeah, nice. Not as nice as it was last week. I was in Orlando, so it was really nice last week.
Oh, really? Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I went down there with my daughter, had a little mini vacation, so main thing, just spend time with, your kids when they grow up like that. It's fun.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. See you soon, probably next week. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We'll be right back after this to Mary Kay Cosmetics on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Discover what you love at MaryKay.com or with your Mary Kay Independent Beauty Consultant.
Hi, Hi, this is Mandy Lewis with Mary Kay Cosmetics. Did you know we can quickly and conveniently deliver Mary Kay products directly to you? We offer easy-to-do home and office delivery. Avoid standing in a line for your skincare products when Mary Kay can ship them right to your door through the customer delivery service. Find out today how we can ship the hundreds of quality Mary Kay products right to your door. Contact me today at marykay.com/mlewis10377. That's marykay.com/mlewis10377.
Here's one of our great sponsors, again, of the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports. Homeowners insurance. What do you offer? What do we need to know about for as far as homeowners from Horace Mann?
Well, some of the things that Horace Mann does that the other companies don't, we will bundle the auto and the home, and those things kind of work together. A lot of people don't realize that the things inside your car are actually covered under your homeowner's policy. So if you've got something broken in and stolen from your car and you have the Horace Mann homeowner's policy, we're going to waive the deductible for you. We design it for educators, and so there's a lot of things that we include in homeowners that are designed just for educators. If a teacher is collecting money for there's class pictures, there's candy bar sales, there's all kind of reasons, lunch money, that they might have a sum of money in their desk at school. If that money is lost or stolen, Horace Mann's going to replace it. And so that's some things that other companies don't do, Tom. And like I said, we design ours just for the educators. You want to make sure that your house is insured to value. And what that means is when you look at your policy, you want to make sure that it can be replaced for what's on that policy. Horace Mann actually has a program where we would go 200% above that amount. So say if your house appraised at $150,000 and all of a sudden you had a big fire, and $150,000, you've seen the price of 2x4s down at Lowe's right now. They're pretty high, and you couldn't build a house back for $150,000. So we would go all the way up to $300,000 to replace that house. And so that's some things that you want to make sure that you have your house insured to value. You want to make sure that you've got adequate liability insurance on there, at least $300,000. And $300,000 would cover you if someone was injured or killed on your property, if they were hurt really bad at something. If you called somebody a knucklehead and they sued you for slander, they're not really a knucklehead, then we're going to defend you as best we could. If your dog bites somebody or your kid's cutting grass and a rock goes through the window of your neighbor's house, there's a lot of little things like that can happen that Horace Mann would cover.
To find out more, how do we get a hold of Rick Walters?
You give us a call at 423-543-0059, option 4. We'll ring right to our office here, or you can find us at horacemann.com.
One of our great sponsors. Again, I have my car insurance and my homeowners bundled together with Rick Walters, and he does a phenomenal job for me. He can do the same for you. Again, one of our great sponsors of Cyclone Sports on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, Rick Walters, Horace Mann Insurance here in Elizabethton, but he's in charge of 5 counties. That would be Carter, Unicoi, Sullivan, Washington, Johnson.
Yep.
There you go. He covers them all. The only agent covers all 5 counties. Rick Walters, Horace Mann Insurance.
That's going to do it from here. Again, big thanks to our guest today, Scotty Whaley, head basketball coach of the Sidesville Lady Hilltoppers. Also, big thanks to, obviously, just now, Jeff Birchfield, sports writer, Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News, Greg Sire talking Major League Baseball, and Ned Smith, head basketball coach of the Hampton Bulldogs. Appreciate all those guys being with us here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Back with you tomorrow. Again, if you don't have a church home, let's play this real quick and we'll wrap it up. But if you don't have a church home, we would encourage you to please consider come be with us at Pleasant Beach Baptist Church.
This is Pastor Fallow, Pleasant Beach Baptist Church in Elizabethton, and we'd love to have you come be with us. You and your family be with us on Sunday. I'm standing here in the lobby at our visitors table, our welcome table, and there's packets made up with tells you a little more about the church and get acquainted card, and then also a mug and some things in there for you to take with you to remind you to pray for us. And we've got a place for you and your family and want you to come. Our goal is for you to know the Lord Jesus Christ as your Savior. But beyond that, to find your purpose and contentment in life of knowing Him, walking with Him, and serving Him each day. And so we want you and your family to come be with us Sunday morning, Sunday night, or Wednesday night. We're looking forward to seeing you soon. You can find a little more information about us online at pleasantbeachbaptist.com.
Back tomorrow, Chick-fil-A in Elizabeth, and Friday will be at Food City in Elizabeth on the Food City Friday. So, again, thanks for being with us. Out of time, we sincerely thank you for yours. We'll wrap it up with our verse today. We always dedicate this show to the man that hung on the cross. Thanks to everybody watching the show, wherever you may be, from Nebraska to Florida to the Tri-Cities. Thank you. And so it goes like this. Psalms 28:7, the Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and I am helped. How about that? Great way to end the show. We will, again, be with you again tomorrow from 11 to 1 at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton. Brand new set of guests, and we'll see you then. Out of time, we sincerely thank you for yours. We always tell you, as always, bloom where you plant it, and win or lose, be a good sport. Thanks for watching show number 1783 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show today at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. See you back here tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Thanks for watching. So long, everybody.